Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for the August Angels Rest Blessing. My name is Patty Hegwood, and I am here with Porter. And Porter is going to help me. You're going to help me with my lines, huh, Porter? He's amazing. So Porter is a good reminder, actually, of sometimes things are outside of our control. And sometimes things happen and we have to adjust. And I think Porter's doing an amazing job with his adjustments. There's very little that we actually can control. I know that's really hard for us to hear. But one of the things we can control perhaps is how we react. Sometimes a little bit about our thoughts. And sometimes, I don't know, the way we treat others. I think we definitely can control that. One of the things, though, we can't control is the weather. And why am I bringing up the weather and control? Well, we live in the high desert, and the sanctuary is about 5,000 feet elevation. And one of the things that we have happen on an annual basis is the monsoon, and we call it monsoon season. And sometimes we have crazy rain, high wind, and even sometimes hail. So last week, we actually had an unprecedented event here at the sanctuary. Mother Nature in all her glory unleashed a crazy rain, and that rain came down in a torrent upon our beloved Angels Rest. Angels Nest was affected, and Angels Overlook. Now, what does this mean? This means that we had a lot of really big grooves that were carved out in the road from the rain and the intensity of that rain. We also had an experience of some water and sand and gravel wash over the resting places of the animals that we tucked in here at the sanctuary. Did this upset us? Yes. Did it hurt our hearts? It surely did. However, it made us realize that there is so very little beyond our control. The most and the biggest thing that we could do was react and spring into action. And that we did. We had amazing staff and volunteers join us, helping us to restore order back to Angels Rest. It's a time, actually, where it was somewhat a call to arms. Everyone joined in and began to help sort out and to create a better spot for all of the animals that have been tucked in here. But also, it affected all of us emotionally, as I'm sure it would affect you at home. But I'll tell you what, there's angels all around us, because without the help of our volunteers and our sanctuary staff, we wouldn't be nearly as close as we would to having restored order. Now, am I telling you this to scare you? No. This is more about being forewarned. And forewarned is forearmed. And immediately our canyon team sprang into action, and they did an amazing job at creating swales, if you know what those are, to begin to divert rain in the event that we ever have such a focused rain on one area of our sanctuary, such as our beloved Angels Rest. Now, we know this is an incredibly and profoundly sacred space that we all hold very dear. And for us to take this time and this attention, Porter, to make sure that everyone at home needs to rest at ease, knowing that things are being properly cared for, please do. But I also want you to think too about the animals that you have the good grace to have within your care. There are things that are going to happen, things that we don't ever envision could even potentially be a threat. And the thing that we have to hold dear is to make sure that we keep that grace within ourselves to keep moving forward and to learn and to grow and to care for the animals that are in our care as best we possibly can. So, what do you think, Porter? It's looking pretty spiff here, isn't it? But Porter and I would like to invite you that if you ever want to come visit the sanctuary, we'd love to have you volunteer at Angels Rest. We look forward to seeing you here. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate you.
Hello everybody, my name is Josh and I'm the manager here at Angels Rest, and I would like to actually talk about some of the animals that had passed away here at the sanctuary for this month. At the sanctuary in Dogtown, we had lost Sophia. In Cat World, we lost Reindeer, Spats, Apple Pie, and Gulliver. In Paragarden, we lost Ruby and Lagoon. Tributes were sent in for this month. One was through Barney and Jasper, Samantha Hicks, Bear, Berlin, Buster, Charlie, Chase, Forrest, Honey, Junior Mint, Lincoln, Little Girl, Mommy, Rocco, Tag, Teddy, Wexy, Wijian, and Winston. Others were sent in for Poppins Schuler, Rambo, Anya, the Gilnack family, Misty, who was a deaf boxer with a lot of character. Abby, Petey, and Ladybird were adopted from a local SPSA. Chauncey was found as a sick kitten near a farm. Tweet: I found while working outside. He was in a tree and I held him in my hand, and then he came to me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is James. I am a caretaker here at the Angels Rest and would like to share with you some stories, some adoption stories from August. We'll start first with Butters from New York City. Butters came from one of our volunteers. She rescued him from the street and got him healthy and vaccinated with the help of a friend. She had an adopter lined up that fell through. Then she spoke with Marlon at our New York Center and arranged for him to come to us to find an adopter. Everything is going well with Butters. I am so happy I chose to take him home. The first 2 days he was hiding a lot, which I expected, so I just gave him time and a lot of TLC. For the last 3 days, he came out of his shell and started playing with toys. He loves hanging out by the window that is overlooking the balcony so he can watch birds all day. He is an affectionate cat, although loves his independence. I lost my cat 3 weeks ago. I had another one last year who died of diabetes. They were 13 and 14 years old. Butter definitely is helping me dealing with the grief. My apartment does not feel empty anymore. Okay, and Gordon from Northwest Arkansas. Gordon, a partially paralyzed Shiba Inu rescued from the streets of Taiwan, won People magazine's Cutest Rescue Dog in the World competition in 2022. His family then moved from Colorado to Bella Vista, Arkansas, where they made regular donations to the pet food pantry at the Best Friends Pet Resource Center. When Gordon passed away unexpectedly in late January, his family not only brought all his toys, blankets, beds, and other supplies to the center to pass along to other rescue dogs in need, They also reached out to Jiminy's Dog Food, asking if the company would be willing to make a donation of food to Best Friends in Gordon's memory. The company has pledged a full pallet of bags of dry dog food to the center in February. Gordon's toys are being passed along to friends who foster or adopt a pet from Best Friends in Northwest Arkansas. We put a basket in the dog enrichment room called Gordon's Memorial Toy Box, from which people can choose a toy when they foster or adopt. Now we would like to open up some time for the audience to share some adoption stories, and please at this time come up. Thank you.
Hello again, my name is Carmen. I'm a local volunteer in Dogtown, and I've been loving on the dogs in Dogtown for 12 years. This particular doggie, Boxer, I walked for 10 years, and I just felt like I needed to write something about him because he was such an integral part of my life and my experience here at the sanctuary. Sometimes dogs are at best friends their entire lives. Except for 3 brief failed adoptions, this was the case with Boxer. Boxer was a puppy at Best Friends, and 12 years later, Boxer died at Best Friends. You may think that Boxer's life was a sad one, but that was not the case. Best Friends was Boxer's comfort zones. He was loved here and happy here. I was among the happy few that Boxer loved. I loved him for 10 of his 12 years. I loved to hear his happy, excited bark when he knew I was approaching his building. For 10 wonderful years, he greeted me with a wiggling body, a big smile, happy eyes, and a welcoming bark. We would go for long walks, fun sessions in terrace, and bonding time in a dog park. The first thing Boxer would do when we were in a car was put his head on my shoulder and just wash my face with licks and kisses. I miss that very much. You could tell Boxer was feeling his years the last couple of months of his life. He began limping and would be short of breath. There were even days he didn't want to eat. For the first time during the 10 years I knew him, he would spend his time lying down in the back seat of my car instead of having his head out the window, enjoying the wind in his face. Boxer and I enjoyed some special treats during his last couple of months, like Egg McMuffins and ice cream and whatever they were selling at the Wendy's. I'm so grateful I had time to spoil him and tell him how much I loved him. Goodbye, my loving friend.
Good afternoon. My name is Shauna, and this is Porter. Porter, honey, can you say hi? And this is Caspian, who actually is a recent adoptee that I just adopted from Best Friends just a week ago. Porter is one of my superheroes. He had so many unexpected events in his life that brought him here to his absolutely wonderful adaptation to not being able to walk very well. 5 years ago, he was hit by a car. Shortly thereafter, he mended from that, and his human father at that time passed away. The family then put him up for adoption in his bonded pair Cecilia at St. George Animal Shelter, where my Duca and I brought them into our beautiful home. Another unexpected event was just the onset of arthritis and all the therapies that he's gone through, and I believe the strength of heart and just being a valiant overcomer. And he became a registered therapy dog, he and Cecilia, who we lost last December, and she's interred at a beautiful site at Angel's Landing. And his unwavering, uncomplaining, and just showing up and trying is what all of us have to do when we have unexpected guests and events happen in our lives. In addition to adopting Derek Carmine, I renamed Caspian for my love of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I also adopted a big, beautiful lab named Boone. And Boone, who I think looks like a bear, I renamed Bjorn. Well, a very unexpected guest arrived, and as we bring in these beautiful animal babies into our life, we don't know their previous life experiences or what's happening to them. And dear Bjorn is in the hospital right now in Best Friends as they're trying to determine what ailment that he has that's so gravely affected him this past week. And that's part of the journey of adopting, or that's part of the journey of love, is that we show up for all stages of our loved ones' lives. We hope for the best, and which we're hoping for the best for Bjorn, and grateful for the veterinarians and the technicians who are trying to determine what is his ailment. And thank you again to Best Friends for all that you do and all the expertise that you share in ensuring animal safety, animal welfare, and providing love and forever homes. Thank you.
Thank you to our audience members for sharing your stories. Very personal, very passionate. Thank you so much. We would like to observe a moment of silence for the animals that we have lost this month. Please join me.
Wow, Porter. What do you think, bud? You got a really cool mom. Today's blessing has really touched me in a variety of ways. Things here actually for our programming didn't go as expected, which I thought was really serendipitous considering the subject of today's blessing. And Porter actually is a really good reminder of how we have to be flexible in our understanding of how things should go, or how we thought that, you know, everything needs to be rigidly defined in its execution of how life should unfold, and it doesn't work that way. Hardly now, if ever. And when I use the word unprecedented, these are unprecedented times all the way around. And the animals, they help ground us. They help bring us back to what's important and where we share that love and that communication that makes us whole. I can't even consider a life without them, because they make us better people. So Porter is taking a nap now. Yeah, sorry about that, buddy. But I did pick out a poem today that I thought would be especially poignant for this time. And it's by my good old friend, Mary Oliver. And it's called I Worried. I've worried a lot. Will the garden grow? Will the rivers flow in the right direction? Will the earth turn as it was taught? And if not, how shall I correct it? Was I right? Was I wrong? Will I be forgiven? Can I do better? Will I ever be able to sing? Even the sparrows can do it, and I'm well hopeless. Is my eyesight fading, or am I just imagining it? Am I going to get rheumatism, lockjaw, dementia? Finally, I saw that worrying had come to nothing, and I gave it up and took my old body and went out into the morning and sang. Let's do a little more of embracing the day for what it is, and just get out there and sing. Whether you can sing or not, who knows? Who cares? So I wanted to give you a reminder that September is Pet Memorial Month, and we will be celebrating throughout the month all those animals that have touched our lives and made us better people. We'll have activities throughout the month, from rock painting to paint your pet portrait, and a few other events that will be on our Best Friends calendar. So please join us at bestfriends.org/inmemory. And we would love to see you there. And until then, please be well, have grace, and know that the river continues to flow. And we just need to get in that big old raft and go right along with it, right, folks? Love y'all.